Welcome back to the Crypto Father channel. Today is the 16th of October. The market is taking a bit of a breather. Once again, the markets are down about $100 billion. Once again, this is the second or third consecutive day. $196 billion in trading volume has disappeared from the overall market. So we're going to look at the charts, we're going to look at the markets, and of course in the news, Sony is entering the scene, trying to open a crypto bank. Experts call them that everything is going to be tokenized within the next 5 years. Believe it or not, some things happening with Ethereum and ADA. What's their next move? The CEO of Gecko believes that Bitcoin is in its third inning. Whatever the heck that means, we're going to look at that. Coinbase adds BNB to its listing roadmap. And remember the guy that shorted Bitcoin and ETH right before Trump's announcement just a few days ago and then disappeared right after with like $129 or $192 million in profit? Well, apparently he's back. And then some news from another seizure by the FBI, who knick-knacked $15 billion worth of cash. All of that coming up today. But first things first, as always, we're going to have a look at the markets. And presently, the market's sitting at a nice $3.864 trillion. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was at 3.9. So the market has lost about $100 billion worth of cash, crypto, over the past 24 hours. Bitcoin sitting at 57.4% dominance, and Ethereum at 12.4% dominance. $196 billion in trading volume, and all of that is being sold off. Bless has got a nice pump of 465%. Yay Finance 36, and Chain Opera AI is bounced back up from $6 yesterday to $17.23. This project apparently is a good money grabber because it's bouncing up and down in 100% increases or decreases over a duration of 24 hours. Bitcoin sitting at $111,000. Ethereum dipped back down below 4,000, presently at $3,963.69. BNB at $1,158. Solana $194. Cardano at 66 cents. Litecoin $94. Toncoin $2.21. And Polkadot at $3.13. These tokens are taking a massive beating. Like, most of them are looking at 20% retracements over the past 7 days, which is massive. Manto has set a 31% retracement. One of the tokens that is looking pretty good is Tau, BitTensor at 21% gain, and Zcash with a 35% pump over the past 7 days. Here we've got Chain Opera, 226% pump on 7 days and 85% pump on the 24 hours. Looking at the charts, Bitcoin has printed another red candle which broke below the $111,000 support and now turned resistance, and Bitcoin's gunning for the $109,000 resistance or support rather right now. And so we need to see this candle maybe reverse and break back up above the $111,000 and $112,000 resistance lines. The $112,000 is a Fibonacci retracement line. The blue 111 is just skirting across the tops of previous highs right here at May 22nd, and then again it was tapped on July 9th. So that's what the blue line is, and so that formed a nice support or resistance line, because obviously the price action tried to break above and it wasn't successful twice until this candle right here. So this is what forms the support lines or resistance lines. So this is where we're at with Bitcoin right now on the daily. On the weekly, Bitcoin's printed a second red candle. The sell volume yesterday or last week was pretty big. This week we'll see what happens with that. Ethereum is tapping this resistance area or support area right here between $3,900 and $3,300, and that was formed from this high and this low right here. It hasn't been tested yet. Almost. I mean, this last sell red candle went into the zone right here, almost recovered most of it, and then broke back above that, and right now it's retesting this upper level right here, using that as support. So hopefully that stays where it is and we see Ethereum crack back above these levels. So Sony, is Sony the next crypto bank? Tech giant applies for a national charter in the US. Sony is making strides to enter the crypto banking sector through its financial arm Sony Bank, as the Japanese group has recently submitted an application to US regulators for a national banking charter via its subsidiary Connectia Trust. From what I hear, the Japanese Prime Minister is not playing well with Trump on its tariffs, so who knows if this is going to pan out, but I guess the wheels are in motion. This move signifies Sony's intent to engage in various cryptocurrency-related activities, which include the issuance of US dollar-backed stablecoins, maintaining reserves, and providing custody and fiduciary management services for digital assets to select clients. Sony seeks OCC approval for crypto banking license. In its national banking charter filing with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, Sony emphasized that its proposed activities align with those already approved for other national chartered banks. Should the application be granted, Sony would join a selected groups of firms, including Stripe, crypto exchange Coinbase, Paxos, and stablecoin issuer Circle, all of which are also pursuing federal crypto banking licenses. Currently, Anchorage Digital Bank is the only entity to have received full approval. If Connectia Trust secures approval from the OCC, it could emerge as one of the first major tech bank hybrids authorized to issue regulated stablecoins in the United States. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Every asset tokenized in 5 years, says TD Ameritrade ex-chair, but not everywhere. Former TD Ameritrade chair Joe Moglia predicts every financial asset will be tokenized within the next 5 years as RWA market hits 33.91 billion, up 10% in 30 days, with Ethereum dominating at $12.1 billion and 57.55% market share. He also continued to warn that the traditional finance has yet to fully accept this inevitable shift. Obviously, that would not be something the traditional finance is equipped to handle. Speaking on CNBC, Moglia stated, 5 years from now, there is not going to be a stock, there is not going to be an option, not going to be a mutual fund, ETF, anything that's not in effect tokenized. Bitcoin cycle entering third inning, says CoinGecko CEO. Crypto's rebound is driven by looser US rules and falling rates, but the next phase may test investors' conviction. CoinGecko CEO Bobby Ong believes the crypto market has entered the middle stages of its current expansion, a period marked by renewed optimism, easing regulation, and rising institutional participation. Ong said that Bitcoin's recovery from its 2022 low signals that we're probably in the third inning or getting to the fourth inning of the market cycle. And I guess he's referring to the fourth year of the bull market. Ong linked this momentum partially to friendlier oversight in the United States under the current Trump administration. Regulations have eased out rapidly, he said, adding that the US Securities and Exchange Commission had previously clamped down on all crypto companies. But of course, after Trump came into office, things have changed drastically because people had to adjust, people had to start kissing ass, some serious ass, in order to stay in the positions that they had, or you moved on to other great positions, because we all know that all these crooks circulate from one company to the next. They never lose step. They continue making the same money that they're making, or even more. They just don't head the same organizations that they were last year. Beyond policy, Ong highlighted macroeconomic forces as key drivers. As interest rates get cut, it's generally bullish for the stock market, and it's going to be bullish for crypto as a whole. However, he cautioned against assuming this time will break the familiar four-year cycle pattern. My point precisely, Mr. Ong, I agree with you. The question is, will the four-year cycle theory hold true, or will this cycle be different? It's very hard to say, Ong said. Once people start saying this time is different, it's time to be more cautious. And people have been saying that for a very long time now. And I think, personally, the four-year cycle will hold. We're going to see an end towards the end of this year, quite possibly maybe into the beginning of next year, 2026, in January, which historically was not a very long time. And despite the fact that everyone's talking about tokenization and Ethereum is going to pump and there's a lot of stuff happening on Ethereum, this is not going to solidify in this bull run. I believe that all of the things that are being worked on will take place in 2029. ETH at 4,000, ADA at 65 cents. This next move could make or break altcoins. Cardano's price near its explosive breakout after a year of sideways trading. This is a chart for Cardano, which is looking as follows, and presently we are looking at Cardano at 65 cents. The ascending triangle is a good optimistic look, but how far will it go? So we're going to have to wait and see where Cardano moves from here. Cardano's price structure that began on November 24th is reaching its apex. The token trades around 67 as of October 15th. That's yesterday, after sliding towards the lower boundary of a long-term symmetrical triangle. The daily chart shows consolidation between descending resistance from the $1.50 peak and ascending support from near 42 cents. ADA recently retested its base after rejecting at 95 cents earlier in October. Major EMAs now act as layered resistance between 77 and 84 cents. The parabolic SAR aligns near 84, reinforcing its ceiling. A drop below 65 could expose stronger demand near 55 to 58. A rebound above 77 may open targets at 80 and $1 if momentum improves. That's the chart. This is where we are right now. On-chain data shows consistent outflows in October, indicating that investors are moving ADA to private wallets, which is a good thing because that means that people are taking it over the exchanges. They're not planning on selling it right now. They're stashing it, hoping for higher prices, which is good for the overall price. Net flows on October 15th totaled negative 8.08 million. While this reduces selling pressure, it also narrows trading liquidity. Ethereum price struggles to hold 4,000 support amid market pressure. We obviously see that Ethereum has dipped below 4,000. Ethereum slipped to 3,996 on October 15th and presently is sitting at 3,958. The move follows heavy exchange outflows, increased liquidations across derivative markets. The daily chart shows ETH compressed between an ascending trend line from April and descending resistance from the 4,800 peak. Price now trades near 3,950 to 4,000, where the 50-day EMA offers immediate support. A hold above this range could spark a rebound toward 4,230 and 4,636. A close below may expose the 200 EMA at 3,546 and deeper support near 3,400, which we don't want to see. Coinbase adds BNB to its listing roadmap. The exchange will list BNB once technical and liquidity conditions are met. BNB rose 1.1% on the news with a 164 billion market cap. Coinbase shared that BNB is now on its official roadmap, meaning that the exchange is actively preparing for a potential listing. However, the company noted that the final listing will depend on market making support and sufficient technical infrastructure. So they're waiting for some cash flow coming in from Binance in order to support their listing of BNB on Coinbase, basically. Once those conditions are met, Coinbase will issue a separate announcement confirming the live trading date. This step aligns with Coinbase's cautions and transparent listing approach, which often includes early disclosures to ensure compliance and community awareness. So, Coinbase users may soon have access to the trading of BNB. And just in, the Bitcoin whale sends 129 million to Binance. Some whale that shorted Trump's tariff announcement, as I mentioned, is moving funds to Binance for what could be another big trade. Now, which way it's going to go is obviously we don't know, but I guess money is moving back to Binance. 3 reasons why Bitcoin and crypto are dumping today. And reason number 1, delayed CPI data has increased uncertainty and triggered risk of behavior. Trade war headlines between the US and China reignited global growth fears, and leverage and unstable ETF flows intensified Bitcoin's and altcoins sell-off. In a quick summary, those are the 3 reasons. And finally, FBI, another monetary seizure by a government agency. FBI seized record 15 billion in Bitcoin from Cambodia-based pig butchering scam network. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Kash Patel has announced that the U.S. Department of Justice has seized over 15 billion worth of Bitcoin from a pig butchering scam based out of Cambodia. The move represents the biggest asset forfeiture in the history of the country, in crypto or otherwise. The DOJ has also named Chen Zi, a man of Chinese origin, as a person of interest in this case, who is apparently on the run right now. But so this would add $15 billion worth of Bitcoin to the US Bitcoin reserve, which is a massive, massive amount. The DOJ alleges that the 37-year-old Z, who is still a fugitive, personally directed a network of scam compounds under the Prince Group. There, people were held and forced to work for him. Furthermore, they state that he used physical violence to discipline and control the workers. Wow. DOJ prosecutors have officially filed a criminal lawsuit against this so-called Prince Group and its notorious transnational criminal activities. 2 charges of wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering were presented before the court. He faces up to 40 years in prison for engaging in this alleged extensive criminal activity. What is a pig butchering scam, you might wonder? Despite the term's apparent violent appearance, it actually describes a particular type of financial crime. It comes from the Chinese phrase "shaz whatever," which refers to fattening a pig before the slaughter. The financial scam combines romance scams, investment fraud, and cryptocurrency scams to defraud unsuspecting users. In this case, the perpetrators reportedly ran elaborate online scams employing forced labor out of Cambodian compounds. The fraudsters used different psychological operations to force users to make increasing financial contributions over time, DOJ alleges. What will happen to the Prince Group? The DOJ has taken an aggressive lead in the prosecution efforts against the Prince Group, which operates businesses across 30 countries. If convicted, the US government will seek to dismantle the entire organization in the country, as well as try to convict its top-tier leadership across the board. It remains to be seen which countries follow the US's lead on the matter and initiate cases of their own. So this should be an interesting case to follow. How this is going to affect markets is uncertain, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's it for today's updates. Please make sure to smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section below. We're still waiting to hear back from Palladium and Trade Ogre, and as soon as things come up, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, don't forget to pick up a Descent wallet, $30 discount on the purchase of 1, $99 discount on the purchase of 2. Ref links are below the video. Also, don't forget to pick up a copy of Crypto and Millennials. $10 spent, 188 pages of crypto wisdom gained. All of that is available below the video. Have a fantastic it's bloody raining here again, Thursday. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.